as the storm rolls on, one of the most important things is keeping our lights on.
Yeah, with millions in the path of Milton, power is a huge concern. So joining us live tonight is FPL's Chris McGrath. Chris, thank you so much for being with us. You guys have your work cut out for us after going through Helene and now dealing with Milton. What is FPL's plans with millions in the path of this storm?
Yeah, good evening, and thank you, first of all, for the opportunity. We are well prepared for Hurricane Milton. It's something that year-round we train for, we drill for. It's what we do, and we've spent the past couple of days making sure that we are ready for whatever the storm brings our way, which has been really significant weather. We have a restoration workforce of more than 17,000 men and women, and that includes mutual assistance from 40 states across the country. They've all come down to Florida. They've driven toward the danger to help us restore power to customers, which is what we've been doing tonight. Statewide, we've actually been able to restore power to 160,000 customers, including about 20,000 customers in Miami-Dade and Broward. Even though the weather continues to impact the state, including some of those feeder bands and tornadoes that we've experienced in South Florida, as long as it's safe for our crews to be in the field, we will do just that. And when it's not safe, we'll utilize smart grid technology to get the lights back on for customers.
Well, Chris, so far we have dodged the bullet here in South Florida. We're sitting here in Miami-Dade. Many of us have loved ones who live in Central Florida. And I've talked to several people, and one of the first questions I ask them is, are your power lines above ground or are they underground? And I was pleased to hear so many people say, no, my power lines are underground, which I think, wow, I'm so glad to hear that. How long could people be out of power potentially, even if they have underground power lines? Is that possible?
It's a great question, and we know that's one of the top questions that all Floridians and our customers have after a storm like Milton, which continues to impact the state of Florida after making landfall a few moments ago in Sarasota County. So much of that is going to depend on the final path of this storm as it cuts across the peninsula. What we've told customers is to expect outages, and I think that's what we're experiencing. Once we get a full extent of the damage, which will likely come at some point later on tomorrow, right, because the storm has got to leave the state. It's got to fully get offshore of Florida. We'll be able to provide estimated times of restoration. But we also want to make sure that our information is accurate. So again, we're going to be restoring power. We've already done that. We're very aggressive in how we do it because we know how important it is for customers.
Yeah, outages are inevitable. That's why we tell people to have a kit, to have batteries, flashlights, all of that. So hopefully people can at least wait it out while the FPL crews get to work. As you mentioned, Chris, mutual aid is huge here. You said there's help from 40 different states. Has FPL been in touch at all with the federal government as far as helping out with the response? We see all the linemen literally lining up to come into Florida and help out. How does the federal government work with FPL to make that all happen?
Yeah, well, mutual assistance, which is what you're alluding to, is a hallmark of the electric utility industry. You know, unfortunately here in Florida, we are battle tested when it comes to hurricanes. We have a lot of experience. When others need our help, we go to them, and it happens vice versa. We cannot do this alone. Like I mentioned, we have help from 40 states across the country. As far away from California, Arizona, New Mexico, they've all come here before the storm. What we do is we strategically pre-position them all across the state. We get them in here ahead of the storm so that as soon as it's safe to restore power, we're able to do that in full force. But it's such a team effort. We're so thankful for the help, and it's really just a hallmark of the industry.
All right, Chris McGrath from Florida Power & Light, thank you very much for joining us live.
Thank you, Chris.
Thank you.